Hello traders, it's Footy Trader here from myfootballtrading.com, and today I have a slightly different video for you. It's not really to look at the games and to analyze them. Today we'll talk about something different. We'll talk about losses in trading and how to deal with them. Yesterday we were having a very friendly atmosphere on my Discord channel, and we were trading Dortmund against Paris Saint-Germain. We've all, myself and other fellow traders, we all took different positions in the market. But one thing was in common. We were expecting goals in second half. And it didn't turn out to be the case. The game ended 1-0 after Dortmund leading 1-0 at halftime. And that was a losing trade for all of us. That brought a thought in my head to talk a little bit about this, as not only because of what happened yesterday, but also because not many people want to talk about it, and they even hide this aspect of trading. And maybe I'm a little bit guilty as well. Maybe I should post more red screens in my social media, but you know where I'm coming from. There are many people who only publish their green screens. They don't discuss losses. They don't discuss how to deal with the loss, because they just, they form a picture that, trading is just about green screens and nothing else, and you don't need to do anything with regards to the red screens, that they don't exist. I thought that I would talk a little bit about dealing with the losses. Also, another factor that caused me to record this video is I finished reading the book The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas. So everything that I will show you today and what we will discuss is from that book. So it's not that, I'm making myself a guru here and, I'm Mr. Smart Guy and will explain everything, about how to deal with the losses. What I will present is from that book. Very good book, by the way. So I encourage everyone to go ahead and read it. Okay. So I hope you will find this format useful, as it was slightly different than usual. Okay. So let us start. So here is our topic, dealing with losses, and it's based on the book The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas. There will be 5 slides with some 5 quotes from the book, and a little bit of explanation around those words. So, let's just dive into it. And before we talk about directly how to deal with the losses, we need to start with some little bit more fundamental things around the psychology of trading and how you should treat your encounters with the market. So first of all, let's start with this one. The more sophisticated you become as a trader, the more you will realize that trading is completely mental. A couple of days ago, Peter Webb published a tweet where he stated that it's all about you. It's not that it's you against the market. Something that I have here at the very bottom as well. It's just you. And a week ago or so, maybe more, I have also published a tweet where I stated that on many different forums, people concentrate on talking about strategies 80% of the time, 10% about money management, and 10% about psychology. And in my opinion, it should be the other way around. Really, 80% is about psychology. Really, this is really what will determine whether you will be successful or not. If you take into account those the number of rules and your approach is correct. So what we can say here is the markets just offer opportunities, and I would. The purpose of this video is also, pause the video, read the slide, and, spend 10-15 minutes thinking about it. It will really help. And if any of you, at least one person, changes his way of thinking, then I would consider it as a success. So here, the markets just offer opportunities. They don't choose the data on which you focus your attention. They certainly don't interpret the data you perceive, nor are the markets responsible for what you can't perceive because of the distinctions you haven't learned to make yet, obviously. They also don't choose when you put on a trade, how long you stay in, when you get out, or how many contracts you buy or sell. So those rules, of course, it's not only applicable to football trading. This is also applicable to, when you're trading stocks. Yeah. But the key point from this slide really is that it's all about psychology. It's everything. It's about you. It's not that, the market is playing tricks against you. The market is not allowing you to do something. The market is against you. The market doesn't care. They just present some situation, and everything is in you to manage this correctly. Yeah. So you choose when you put on a trade. You decide how long you stay in, when you get out, and how many back or lays you put into the market. So that's point number one. Very important to acknowledge. It's all about you. It's not that it's the market's fault. Yeah, you have to be accountable 100% of what's happening. All the profits, all the losses. It's not the market's fault. Okay, so that's point number one. Point number two, so let's move on to point number two. Point number two, to be a successful trader, you need to trade without fear. This is also something that I've already mentioned a couple of times. Why is it? The more fearful traders are, the fewer the choices they perceive as available to themselves. And also, this is psychologically confirmed. When you are in the middle of a trade and you are fearful, then absolutely, the range of the possibilities that you can perceive is very limited. So it's very important that, leave the fear aside. If you're not sure, you just don't enter the trade. Yeah. At the very same time, it doesn't mean, and I think it's very important to emphasize, it's this side note at the bottom. Don't get reckless. It doesn't mean that, I'm trading without fear. So, 100 here, 1,000 there. I lay here, I back there. This is being reckless. And getting reckless, and be careful, because getting reckless is exactly what people have a tendency to do if they don't feel any fear. Yeah. I'm literally, reading this paragraph. Especially if there is a potential for thrilling results as there is in trading. Think about it. Thrilling results, a football game, yeah, emotions. if you don't feel any fear, you can get reckless, and it's not about that. So what to do? Establish a set of rules and guidelines to trade by, and know that you will always follow those rules without hesitation, regardless of the temptation to do otherwise. It is very critical. So you trade without fear because you have the rules, you have the guidelines that you follow, you have your approach, and you're dedicated to that approach. Yeah. So you have no fear because you know what you're doing, and it's not being reckless at the very same time. Yeah. Okay. So those 2 points, I thought I would need to lay them out here because it's a very basis of our further discussion about how to deal with the losses. Okay, so what does the disciplined trader do about the losses and dealing with them? So hey, we all have losses. Yeah, don't believe those green screens that everyone posts. Yeah, and again, probably I should post more red ones as well. I have red screens, I have losses, you know. Everyone who was on the Discord yesterday saw that I've shared my red screen yesterday. Okay, number 3. So here is the recommendation from Mark Douglas. Predefine what a loss is in every potential trade. And what does that mean? By predefine, I mean determine what the market has to look like or do to tell you that the trade no longer represents an opportunity. Okay, so you enter the market because you can see the opportunity. And of course you have a vision of the future. You have a vision of what will happen, you know, otherwise you wouldn't have entered the market and construct a trade in the first place. So of course you have that. But before you enter, predefine what a loss is. So for example, for me, I've jumped in the Dortmund PSG trade at halftime. And I built my position in the market around 2 goals being scored in second half. My predefined loss was that, okay, if it stays 1-0, it is a loss for me. If 1 goal is scored, okay, I can try to play around with some green that I have on the 3 goals scoreline. But if it's 1-0, this is where there is no opportunity. There's nothing. I can't do anything. This is a loss. And if you look at the correct score market, you know, you have how many? 13 different score lines. Of course, you need to treat them as products. Yeah, there are like 13 products. You select a number of them, and you think that the odds for that score will go down, and you will benefit from it. Yeah. Of course, what may happen in the CS market is that, you know, throughout the game, number of products of those score lines go up and down. You may benefit. The good thing about the correct score market is that you can benefit from 2 products / score lines. Let's say it's 1-1 in 88th minute. The odds dropped to 25, and you have a profit there. You lay, and then another goal is scored, and it's 1-2, and then effectively the 1-2 odds go down, so you kind of benefit from both products. So yeah, but it's how the correct score market works. But predefining a loss is important because you then can execute a losing trade. You can cut your loss if it's going completely against you, right? If there is a scenario that you didn't take into account, cut your losses, accept that it is a losing trade, Again, something that not many people want to talk about. Yeah, they are only green, always. It's not true. Yeah, don't believe that in that world doesn't exist. Confront the possibility of being wrong and consequently not avoid the inevitability of taking a loss, right? Confronting and accepting the inevitability of a loss is a trading skill. So let's admit it. Loss is inevitable. You have to confront it. That's the fact. In trading, loss is inevitable. It's a part of trading, like it was for us yesterday. Nothing unusual happened, right? Nothing. It's important not to be emotional. It's important to, confront that fact and, just move on. Here is what we should do. Losses do not diminish you as a person. Make the execution of a losing trade an automatic function of your trading strategy. This is what I was saying, right? It goes against me. Cut your loss, move on. Don't try to recover every trade. Make yourself psychologically available to take advantage of the next opportunity. We have, I think at least 5 games, right? Europe League, we have 1 Premier League game. There will always be next opportunity. Even if that opportunity is the same direction of the losing trade you just got out of, right? Don't make the losing trade affect or impact the next trade you're taking, right? Like, I don't know, I've decided that in the last trade, there was the opportunity to go over 2.5 goals. I've lost, which was surprising to me, and I can see another opportunity in the next game for over 2.5, and I say, no, I'm not doing the same. Really, I've lost previously. I don't think that's right. So that last trade is affecting your judgment, is affecting your strategy. That should not happen. So that's one point. Yeah. Now, dealing with the losses, let's talk a little bit more about executing your losing trade. So that's point number 4. Execute your losing trades immediately upon perception that they exist. When losses are predefined, as we said, and executed without hesitation, there is nothing to consider, weigh, or judge, and consequently nothing to tempt yourself with. It is one of the most difficult things in trading. And that is, for me, and that is accepting that you have a losing trade. It's very difficult because it's part of the nature of people that, if there is a chance, the game did not end, you think you can still recover. Okay, I will go deeper into the trade. Let me now, I'm in the correct score market. It didn't go absolutely in line with my original plan, but now I will go deeper. I will back 5 other scores to get out of it. This is a very, it really is a trap. Consider this. If you find yourself considering, weighing, or judging, then you are either not predefining what the loss is, or you are not executing them immediately upon perception. In which case, if you don't, and it turns out to be profitable, think about it. So what happens if you not execute the losing trade and you add those 4 scores, you go deeper, you are playing a completely different game on the market, completely not in line with the plan that you had, and somehow you So according to Mark Douglas, from the book The Disciplined Trader, you are, by doing that, reinforcing an inappropriate behavior that will inevitably lead to a disaster. Why? Because the market rewarded you for an inappropriate behavior. It's very dangerous because you will do that again. Profit at the end of the trade doesn't mean that your execution was good. A loss at the end of the trade doesn't mean that your execution was bad, really. If you don't profit from that trade, trying to recover it, throwing away all the plans, and the loss worsens, you will create a negative cycle of pain that once started is difficult to stop. So this is even worse, right? You end up losing more money. Now, also what Mark is saying, the next error after letting a loss get out of hand is usually not taking the next opportunity, which invariably is always a winning trade, interestingly. Yeah, there is a next opportunity, you don't take it because you've suffered a significant loss. You're saying, no, I'm taking a break now for a month, I don't care. Yeah, we all have been there. After which we get so angry at ourselves for passing up that opportunity that we make ourselves susceptible to any number of other trading errors. You become angry and you make more mistakes. Yeah. So predefine a loss, accept the loss, right? Be very clear that losses are inevitable. Execute them, accept them, and move on. Yeah, I'm hoping that this is something that is helping you. It really helped me. I really, when I read the book, it opened my eyes to many aspects. And this is key because it works irrespective of the strategy that you have. This is why I'm always saying start with psychology. Psychology is key to trading. You can have a great strategy, but if you are not having a correct mindset, it will not take you far. One last point, and I know that, again, I'm making a long video here, but point number 5, it is about objectivity. What happened yesterday? 1-0 halftime, nobody expected 1-0 full time, and it did happen. So what do? Are we angry? Are we angry about the market? Are we angry about Paris Saint-Germain not scoring? Dortmund not scoring the second goal? None of that, really. So here is number 5. To achieve a state of objectivity, you need to operate out of beliefs that allow for anything to happen, as opposed to beliefs that allow only for the market to express itself in a limited fashion. Again, I really recommend pausing this video. Read it a couple of times and think about it. Yeah? Anything can happen. Anything can happen in a football game. Any game starts 0-0, it can end 0-0. There can be goals, there don't need to be goals. Anything can happen. It is important that you allow for anything to happen and you don't limit in your mind that, the market can do A and not B. So let's read a little bit more about it. If you operate out of a belief that anything can happen, then whatever does happen won't be threatening to you in any way, thereby causing you to avoid or distort certain categories of market information. Yeah, something happens that you didn't take into account, and it is threatening to you. You stop perceiving certain information that the market is transmitting. Yeah. If, again, you agree, you confront, you accept that anything can happen, okay, it ended 1-0, we've recorded a loss, we've moved on. It's nothing unusual. Of course, there was so many strong indicators yesterday that there will be another goal. I agree, so, and we did that. We've formed our market position based on it. But anything can happen. As it is stated here, you do, however, have to have some belief or expectation about the future, or you wouldn't even put on a trade in the first place. This is what I've mentioned earlier, right? Of course, we all had some expectations, otherwise you're not trading. You enter the market because you have some expectation about the future. But having that expectation at the very same time, you have to acknowledge that anything can happen. There may be 5 more goals, there may not be goals. Yeah. And the last point is, in order to be objective when trading, you have to make uncommitted assessments of the probabilities. What the market is presenting to you are the probabilities. The odds are probabilities. Yeah. You assess those probabilities and you don't make commitments to any particular outcome, which simply means that you have no commitment to any particular outcome. You don't expect the market to express itself in a limited way. Traders, if you take all of that into account, you will realize that what happened yesterday was just nothing unusual, absolutely nothing. Part of this process, part of this game, something that we all face. I hope if you didn't know about those rules, again, I recommend going through those slides. I can share this this PPT file with anyone who wants it. And spend at least 15 minutes thinking about each of these rules. Again, these are not my rules. These are Mark Douglas's rules. But I think they are, really spot on. And if they help you in any way, if they help you changing the mindset, it will make you closer to being a successful trader. So that's Footy Trader and dealing with the losses. I hope you found that format useful. Enjoy trading, stay green, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon. Hit me up on social medias or just join the Discord server where we are having those conversations, and we trade together. Okay, bye-bye until the next time.